What is good, people? Welcome back to the channel. KG is back, and it is time for a brand new transfer talk. And today's edition is very sweet. I'm not going to lie, over the last week, I would say the links have been sensational. These are players that Leeds United should be linked with, should be going for. And these players improve your first 11, improve your squad, and make you competitive in order to survive relegation. And honestly, if we sign half of them, we will be in a good position. I'm sure. But look, we're going to get into it because a couple of them, I feel it could be agent talk fueling it, but we're going to get into it as the video goes on. But first of all, Douglas Luiz, who we've been linked with previously, but the latest report is that Juventus are desperate to sell and are willing to let him go. They understand he had a down year last year for a couple of reasons, but they know the quality's there. So they may be willing to agree a loan deal with a view to a permanent transfer next summer of around 30 million euros. Now, for me, this is a slam dunk if you can get Douglas Luiz. People talk about you want Premier League proven players and all that nonsense. Well, this guy did it in the Premier League, and he was very instrumental not only to help Villa climb the table, but to get them in the Champions League. He was a key component of that. And Douglas Luiz comes in, and for me, he's your number one midfielder. Like straight off the bat, there's nothing that he doesn't do that other midfielders in total do. He does the defensive work. He's brilliant at set pieces. He gets up and down the pitch, box to box. So he comes in and he's straight in the first 11. His quality on the ball is undeniable. Such a gifted footballer. And if Leeds United can get this kind of deal done, you do it. And look, 30 million euros, I'm sure that Leeds United would negotiate that and, you know, hopefully get it down a little bit, maybe, but they did pay a lot of money for him, so it's understandable. But 30 million euros upon, you know, relegation survival is brilliant. And also with this, and just, you know, I think it's basic business. I would believe that Leeds United would only do the deal of a permanent move if we survive relegation. I think that would be pretty obvious. But yeah, Douglas Luiz, I mean, I want to keep my eye on this one because I would love Douglas Luiz at the football club. And this is the beautiful thing about a few of the names in here. I love all of them, but I know you can't do that, obviously, but you want to get these kind of players in the door because these are the players that will be difference makers in our position for sure. But yeah, Douglas Luiz, that's the latest update with him. And, you know, if we can do that one, please do so. Someone who won't be coming to Leeds United is someone who I've featured on the channel before in Nicola Christovich. Joe Donahue reporting this this morning. Lecce forward Nikola Krstović is not a Leeds United target at this time. Players plenty of interest in Italy. Leeds remain in the market for another striker after Meccia's arrival. And this is one I was going to talk about anyway because the reports out in Italy were saying that he is available for around 30 million euros. But it seems his preference is to stay in Italy anyway. So it was kind of going to be a non-starter in this video, regardless of Joe Donahue's report, because reports out in Lecce saying he wants to go to an upper Serie A team like a Milan or somewhere like that. And I can see that happening. The one thing I did mention when I did feature him on the channel is I don't know if he'd want to leave Italy. And the next thing was I don't know how it would transfer from Serie A to the Premier League because there hasn't really been a good record overall of strikers anyway coming from Serie A and doing well in the Premier League. But this guy is so gifted technically. He's deceptively quick, finished with both feet, good in the air, but it seems that he's not going to be the target for us. But what I do think, people, and we mentioned it in yesterday's live stream, and if you didn't see that one, please go back and watch it. I do think with Fulham's interest in Ricardo Pepe, and if they get him, Rodrigo Munes becomes available. And we already heard about the bid that got rejected. Maybe Leeds United resubmit that one when they get Ricardo Pepe, maybe get it a bit lower. But I do think that this could be our number one striking option for this summer. Not liking all the prop I've seen about Meccia and all that online from Baron Cross. I feel like he's been pushing that one a little too hard. Don't know if that's via the club or just his own research he's doing. But yeah, we will need an absolute, killer up front. Rodrigo Munes could be that for us in a regular role at first team football. But we'll keep an eye on that one in the future as well. But Krstović, he is off the table. Now, this one here is a very interesting one. Raphael Onyedika, defensive midfielder. And the difference between him and a few others like the Habib Diarra, even like Douglas Luiz, is that he is really a defensive midfielder. Like he is that brick wall in defensive midfield, which would lead me to believe if we was to even get this player, that we would be having to get maybe another midfielder to complement him. That's why I think with like a Habib Diarra or Siddiqui, I mean, Siddiqui is more defensive midfield too, in all fairness, but Onyedika is that stopper in midfield. And we've been linked with him. But what I will say is I don't know how genuine the link is. He's got interest as well from West Ham. It seems that they're very heavy into him, and also Tottenham, which is also a theme for the next player that we're going to mention. But again, Onyedika, if he comes in, imagine that kind of midfield, between him and Ampadu, just locking things down in central midfield. That would be tasty. You know what I mean? This is what I'm saying. The options that we're looking at are of different profiles sometimes and different, playing styles, but they equate to being good talents in for what we're trying to build at this football club. So it doesn't matter if you get yourself a box to box, maybe you get one holding midfielder outright, just for that extra protection that we will need in a lot of games. And this is what Onyedika would be. I just don't know how valid this link is to us. I do believe we'd have an interest in him. Why wouldn't we? And we're talking about going to like the Belgian leagues. He plays for Bruges. It is about getting talent from those places, but I don't know if we'd be number one on the list, especially if Tottenham, Champions League football, they do need a midfielder as well, and he would, fit in seamlessly there. So we'll wait and see. But the fact that we're even, being spoken about with this kind of player is great news. We'll see if there's anything additional in the future, but just reporting that we've been named as possible suitors for Onyedika as well. The next one, I think we've mentioned him before on here, but is Evann Guessand, forward. And the thing is, just say forward, because this guy excels whether he plays down the middle, left, right. It doesn't matter. You look at how Ramazani played on the left for us last season, then transitioned to the right seamlessly. It's the same with Guessand. This one, though, again, I don't know how genuine the link is. And Tottenham, again, are in for him. The one thing I was going to say yesterday, but has been debunked with reports this morning, is that he would prefer a move to Turkey because Jose Mourinho has spoken to him to move to Fenerbahce. But a report this morning from Get French Football News is saying that he's uninterested in the Fenerbahce move and he wants to go to the Premier League. Wolves are also registering their interest as well. And obviously, they've got a lot of money to spend after a couple of sales they've made. And they'll want to replace Cunha with someone just as exciting, just as prolific as he can be. And this guy has got all the tools, whether it's pace, running in behind. He's just an outstanding forward. And again, someone that Leeds United should be looking at. I just don't know the probability of it, people. But again, if we are in advanced talks with this player in the future, we will cover it even more. But this is the kind of player that you want. And if we did get a Guessand, by the way, I think that would spell the end of the Paschal interest. I think that would just dead that off, because then I think we have our four wingers providing everyone stays and no one's going to leave. But yeah, this is another one that would be very, very exciting to get through the door. And I'm all for. I'm absolutely all for. This is the kind of player. I'm surprised Bournemouth haven't gone in for him. They usually get all these kind of players from league, these kind of top prospects that they'll then sell for like double the money later. This is this is the kind of player we should be in for. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on it and see if anything else comes of it. But yeah, those are the latest links that I've seen that are the more like genuine and probable ones and exciting ones, of course. That is it for the video today. Big up to Johnny Cash, who's become a new member of the channel, and big up for you for your message. I appreciate that, my man, and thank you for becoming a member. Big up to all members of the channel as well. Thank you for that support. It goes a long way. If you want to donate via super thanks in the comments, you can do that. That helps out the channel as well. And more importantly, and it's free to do for everybody, like the video. It helps me get seen more places, helps the channel grow. Peace out, people. See you in the next one.